you. Illawarra. Illawarra. And people don't believe in Wollongong, doubt us all year. You better start believing because we'll be back next year.
Ball driving. 7 seconds left. He pulls the trigger. Big shot taker. Big shot maker. Tyler Harvey enormous.
Yes. Welcome back to the Hawks Hangout, your one-stop shop for everything Hawks-related content. Corey, Happy New Year's, my brother. It is the 2nd of January today. It is our first episode of the new year. And Corey, for Hawks fans, there was no fireworks at all, but at least we weren't like New York. We weren't dropping the ball because the Hawks came away with an impressive 2-point victory over the Tassie JackJumpers. They're pretty lackluster, not Jack and jumping.
Ooh.
Pretty lackluster. But Corey, what else have we got on today's episode?
Well, firstly, we'll thank our great sponsors.
Yes.
Principal Brewing, Enable U2, and 18th Dynasty. We appreciate you guys very much. On this episode today, we're going to be reviewing the Christmas Day massacre. It wasn't very nice. Again, Hawks v Kings. Our win streak on Christmas was ended. We're going to then review the Hawks v Tassie game on New Year's Eve. We'll also do a little preview of the game that's coming up on Saturday against the Cairns Taipans. We'll do our regular segments of Are You Serious? Yeah, nah, and hashtag all the rest of it. But let's get into it with that Kings game, Christmas Day. We all had a great day on Christmas. And the last 2 Christmases have finished beautifully because we've tore the Kings a new one, and this year they tore us a new one. So it wasn't pretty at all. We went down 108 to 84. What were your thoughts, mate?
Yeah, it was really surprising, Corey. I thought it was a game that the Hawks really wanted to come out and dominate from start to finish. Obviously, it was a bit hard. Tyler Harvey wasn't able to play due to back spasms. JaVale McGee was back. It was great to see Sam Frawling back, and a big, massive shout out to him because he was coming back with no minute restrictions. And I thought for sure he was going to be limited to about 20 minutes, maybe a little bit less, just depending on how he was going. And he goes out and he hits a solid double-double in his first outing, back as a Hawk, back into the team in his first outing for last year. Can't say this year because it was last year.
True that.
But the only quarter that the Hawks won, Corey, was the last quarter, and it was 26-25.
The game was already over there as well.
We had lost the first quarter, 34-19. It was lost by the end of the first quarter.
Well, and we were in the game early. I think it was about 15-12, and then all of a sudden it was 34-19, and I'm like, man, like this is not going to be a great Christmas Day game. And we were just poor. Like Sydney were great from 3, hit 14 of 31. We had 9 from 28, which is okay for us, I guess. But again, turnovers are a massive issue. We had 12 of those. But one key stat that stood out for me, and I do like to look at this stat because I think it shows whether teams are playing good basketball. Kings had 30 assists. If you like, that was us last year. We were sharing the ball around, making the extra pass, getting it to the open guy. There wasn't too much standing and dribbling. 30 assists is huge. We only had 15, so they doubled our assists. So that what that generally means, if you only got 15 assists, people are creating for themselves. But that's not the sort of basketball I personally like to watch. I like the ball moving, getting people involved, and the Kings did that really well. So we know we all hate the Kings, but respect where it's due. They were great in that game. Davis and Cooks and Noy were all really, really strong. Davis 27, Cooks 21. Noy, a very annoying 18. Like he hit a bunch of threes, like he tends to do against us. Us, like probably the only shining lights, like you said, was probably Sam. With that double-double. McGee had a solid 20 and 6, but it sort of came when the game was over. I was probably the most impressed with Wani. I thought Wani had a really great game. He got fouled out at the end, but he had 15 points and 5 threes. I'd almost go out on a limb and say there's no way Wani's hit 5 threes in the game, in an NBL game before. I could be wrong, but
not since last season, no.
I don't think he'd even hit it in any.
I think he at least hit 4.
Five's a lot. Like that's
Five's
that's a lot. So I don't think he would have. Sometimes I don't even think he takes 5 threes in a game. So and he actually hit another one. He would have had 6, but it got canned off because of a illegal screen or something. But he was great with his 15 points, and I thought he was probably the only one really could hold his head up high. Hickey was a little bit of a non-event with only 7, 4, and 3. He's in a little bit of a slump, I think, at the moment. But have to say the Kings were deserved winners. Obviously disappointing to lose on Christmas Day after having two great wins previously. And it really showed, I think, Kings are, and I hate to say it, like serious contenders for the NBL titles. They continue to play the way they're playing. I think the biggest thing that's happened to them is Cooks seemed to turn a corner. He was very poor at the start of the season. And now he's sort of back to how he was playing when he won the MVP. And it sort of lifted them, and they're playing a lot better as a group. Very annoying, but I don't know what else you have to say about this game.
And it was just an effort, like from the word go, 14 to 31 threes. Like they hit 17 more threes than we did because their looks were just open completely. And if it was a missed 3, then they were getting an offensive rebound because the offensive rebound counted ended up at 9 of 28. So it was it was all over the place, and it was not consistent with what we were used to seeing, and especially coming off the back of some great games towards the end of December, heading into this Christmas period, knowing Sam was likely to come back, knowing that we'd be almost at a full roster. It was a game that we really needed to win, and we just could not get our shit together. But the 12 turnovers, Corey, that is really starting to kill the Hawks.
It's been a theme this whole season.
The turnovers are killing us.
And we need, we'll talk a little bit about it, probably a little bit more, but I think what's probably shown is we just really need that true import point guard. Moving forward, I think that's next year would have to be the plan. I think Davo is a great player to come off the bench. He can bring a little bit of energy and excitement and run the point or play in the 2 in the second unit. And end games for us, if he's playing well, like I don't think like starting is not the be all and end all of everything.
No,
it's not
how you start a game; it's how you finish it.
And sometimes certain players are good in a certain starting role. I've always said I think Mason Peatling's a great starter. He just comes on. He's always super focused. He has effort, and he's an enforcer early on. And I think that's important at the start of the game. But not necessarily going to have Peatling on the court with a minute to go and the scores are tight. Maybe that's not going to be for him, but he still has his role doing that. But I just think we need that. That's a key. But the alarming thing for me is it looks like this year Sydney own us. They've beaten us comprehensively twice, and I feel like
they'll take the next 2.
That could be an issue because we do still have to play them twice. And it's not easy to turn that around. The matchup does not look great for us. They're also obviously playing with confidence. They also know we've beaten them before this year 6 times in a row.
I think with Sam back, it might be a little bit different. I think it'll be closer. It won't be a blowout like what Christmas was. But I still see them winning both of the times. But
let's move on to the next one because the New Year's Eve game last season, we did lose on New Year's Eve, and it wasn't a great feeling. But I'll tell you what, that at the end of that game, the feeling I had, and it could have easily gone the other way, but the feeling you leave that stadium after a win like that, oh my God, it just changes the way that you feel, the vibe you're feeling. It was just great. And even though we were like 6 and 12 at the start, it doesn't matter. Like whenever the Hawks win, it just makes you feel better. It makes that day feel great. It makes the next day feel great. And that's the feeling that we had. And even though like they had made an announcement during the game, there's going to be no fireworks for the Hawks, there was plenty of fireworks on the court, mate. Like there was a lot of push and shove. Tassie came, like I've always said, I think this is the theme with teams this year. They know if you come and put it to the Hawks physically, sometimes they can back down a little bit. But the Hawks turned up this game. They definitely turned up, and they were ready to play, and they started really, really strongly. We got off to a great start. We had a 10-point lead around the end of the first, into the set. But early on in the game, like we were up 6-2. I'm like, how good is this? Then Nick Marshall comes on and goes bang, bang. And I'm like, my God, now it's 12-6. I'm like, this is just a game of runs. And then all of a sudden we were up 36-24. That's a 30-12 run. But the game was just seesawing. It just had it. It was a really great game. Like, tell me what you thought.
I thought from the word get-go, as soon as we saw the team list come in, we knew that Sam was back. We knew Tyler was back. We knew everyone was going to be playing. It was the first time that we had an entire squad playing from start to finish. Obviously, no Jonah Bolden with his injury leaving him out for the rest of the season, but you've got Luka Yates coming in, which I think he's done an amazing job to be able to step up. It's not something you would normally see, a development player stepping up like he has, but he's been able to step up. He didn't get any minutes in this game, but he didn't need to, Corey, because the minutes were widespread across everyone. And I really enjoyed seeing all of the different rotations, and we'll talk about it a little bit later on with the rotations, but no one played over 30 minutes. I think Sam had the most at 28 minutes, but everyone else under that had mid-20s to the late teens, early 20s worth of minutes. No one was out there for a full 36 minutes, almost 40 minutes, slogging their absolute guts off. You see JaVale McGee having 30-point games, but playing 38 minutes. Whereas in this game,
not winning those games. And we did mention that. We have mentioned that before. It's like sometimes players can have spectacular performances, but it doesn't lead to wins. And I think they sort of found like the right balance in this game. And I'm hoping that they can continue for the rest of the season, where JaVale wasn't necessarily overly played. He wasn't always
22 minutes, but
the focal point. We weren't overplaying, trying to get the ball into him every single time. We let the game come to him. He actually did, like, there was in a key time of the game when we were struggling, they made a comeback in that third quarter and we're up by 10 going into the halftime, and they all of a sudden, after a minute, and the scores were like level. I'm like, oh my God. Like, we have a 10-point lead in a minute, it's gone. Then we went to McGee, and that's when you need it. Like, you don't necessarily want jacking up threes when you feel the other team's coming back, because if you miss those, then they're off at the races and building the league. You need it. You need someone to settle it and stop the run. And the good way to do that is bang it inside, get it to McGee, and he did it. He scored like 4 or 6 points in that little key time when they were coming at us hard. Just settled the ship, allowed us to get back into the flow, and then we built another little lead going into the fourth quarter. So, your favorite stat, mate? How many threes do we like the Hawks to hit to get a victory?
If the Hawks hit over the magic 1-0, today it is the 0-2 of January. But if they hit 10 threes, it is very hard to stop a team, any team in the NBL. It is very hard.
And we got it. I think we went 10 of 24. They were very similar. They went like 9 of 25, I think. But we've always said, because it's not necessarily our strength banging in three. So 10 of them is good and gave us a chance. But really, you look at the stats, we probably should have won by more. But what kept Tassie in it again?
Turnovers?
15 turnovers, bro. 15 turnovers. And that's what's keeping teams in it when they play the Hawks. Like the Hawks, I thought the Hawks in this game were great.
Oh, we should have won by 20.
We came with energy. We got the rotations right. We got lots of people chipping in. We had multiple people in double figures. We've said that before as well. If we get multiple guys in double figures, like, we're going to be competitive. We had 4 guys in double figures from what I remember. It was Froling, McGee, QJ, and Harvey, all in double figures. If we do that, again, we're very hard to beat. So all the things that we need to make ourselves difficult to beat, we're there. But we only just stuck away the victory because you're turning the ball over 15 times. So it makes it hard. But
and it's one of those, Corey, and it absolutely kills me to do this because it's what cost us basically, and dare I say it, 2 years ago, it's probably what cost us a championship. It was a stupid, costly turnover from the same inbound play that we run with about 50 seconds left to go. So with a minute left to go in the game, we come down, we hit this stupid shot, and Froling tips it in. Fantastic. My dad's cheering because he turned his $5 into $40 off his multi. Happy New Year's for us. That covered pizza and drinks.
Yeah, that was it.
Fantastic. He loved it. Froling hit his 16th point and he had him 15 plus points. So it was great.
Shout out.
But he tips that in with 50 seconds left to go.
Puts us up 3, I believe.
Yeah, it was 91 to 88. Yeah. So we're up 3. We then come down after they miss, and then there's a stupid turnover, and they race down, and Mags or Bannon, can't remember, hits a 2.
It was
And-
Bannon.
Bannon hits a 2.
But it was a poorly run inbounds play. Like, I'm not saying I'm the greatest
But it
coach
was-
of all time, but one thing you tell your players in those key moments is you do not want to get a catch near a sideline.
It's like the
Because
worst
the
inbound
sideline's an extra defender. Drew the
Worst.
double team. Harvey had absolutely nowhere to go. He couldn't throw the ball forward. He had to throw
Threw it to the
around
side.
and side, which is, again, as a coach, you say, do not throw it cross court because it gets intercept. There's no one back. But he had to because there was no other way because he couldn't get around because the sideline was an extra defender.
Throw it off the foot.
And it was just, it was a word. Like when I saw him lining up for that inbounds play, I was like, I don't know why he's doing that. Like, I feel like your best option is to spread the floor.
And
Everyone
Hickey
gets to
shouldn't be
different
inbounding
corners.
it. Why is Hickey inbounding it
Like,
for?
get the ball, have someone come into all the balls or set a screen for someone to come off that screen. Just get the ball in their hands. But you don't want them catching it anywhere near the sideline.
No.
It's the worst possible thing. If you're going to turn the ball over, turn it so you've at least got defenders back that have to, like, slow it down. You can set your defense. Once you throw that ball cross court, it's going to be an open layup every time. So that wasn't great.
But then the killer
all.
after that, it ends up being 91-90. We take a timeout with 11 seconds left to go. We get it all the way up the court. How many threes do we miss and how many rebounds do we get before QJ finally decides, let me drive it in, and then I'm going to pass it out to Todd Blanchfield, and Todd Blanchfield misses a wide open layup. His little toddy, one-hand toddy push that we love. We've absolutely loved to see it. He misses it. We go, okay, it's all right. It's 2 fouls. It's 2 fouls. We'll go to the line. We'll sink both of them. We're going to be up. We'll be up 3. Misses the first.
It's always going to happen. He's in a funk at the moment. That was
Then
always
he
going
makes
to
the
happen.
second.
Mate, yeah, we're gonna. Yeah, I know. We'll bring that back up again because I'm going to ask you a question about that in the segment about what you think you should do in those situations.
But regardless,
let's go through some of the performances. Like, Froling was, again, another double-double. So 2 double-doubles in his first 2 games back. Can't ask for anything more from him. He's looking great. He had 16, 10, and 4. McGee had 16, 6, 2, and a massive 6 box. I was a little bit surprised he got player of the game. But when you look at the whole thing, the 6 boxes were huge. And he also, like, slowed down Magnay. Magnay only had 2 points and 8 rebounds. So when you look at that, you can see
huge.
why he did it.
Huge.
I didn't think that watching the game live that I think McGee would be player of the game.
No.
QJ had a solid 13, 5, and 5. Harvey was great again, returning from injury, 15-1. Like, hit a little run there where it was like, didn't look like he was going to miss. I thought Bawali was great, especially at the start of the game.
Yeah.
7, 5, and 2. He really earned his minutes. I think he played just under 20. He was great. Hickey again, a little bit disappointing, but 8, 4, and 3. Come up with some big shots in that fourth quarter. Like I said, it was handy for him to be out there, and it's not who starts the game; it's who finishes it. And he has that tendency. He has that tendency to get those buckets around the rim and stuff, and get tip-ins and get offensive rebounds. He was a guy with about 2 minutes to go. We had a possession. We had 5 offensive rebounds, and he was one of the guys tipping it out and like. And I remember saying, oh, God, we need to score on this possession. If we don't, like, I feel there could be a turning point because we wasted about 30 or 40 seconds in that one possession.
Yeah.
And it got it down from, like, high 2 minutes to the 2-minute mark, but we didn't score. And I was like, oh. But we did hang on. But I thought Tassie were great. And they're obviously the team we're going to try and chase down to snatch this 6th spot. And it's going to be really hard because I think they are a really strong team. They're a great starting 5. And one guy who's really impressed me, and he came with big raps when he came to Brisbane, and he was solid, but I didn't think he was great in his first season at Brisbane. Bannon has been sensational. He's just tough. He's a banger. He owned inside. Whenever he got that ball in the post, he just bang, scored. He hit corner 3 at a key time. He was just really strong with 25 points, 6 rebounds. I just think he's come on leaps and bounds. Great move from him moving to Tassie because obviously Scott Roth is a great coach for him, and he's actually playing like the player that they probably thought Brisbane thought they were going to get. But he was great. And again, I thought some great job from Wani restricting Hamilton only 10 points. But Bawali did a great job on Tiger early, and Tiger was a non-event early. but he ended up getting 18 points. So I think he was scoring a lot of points when Biley wasn't on him. So, and then Johnson was really solid, gave him a little spark with 16, but they sort of shared it around too. It was a really even match and exciting match. And I'm just so glad that we got the job done. It was a great game, but officially it knocks us out of the Ignite Cup.
Yeah.
We ended up getting 5 points out of that game, winning the first 2 quarters and obviously winning the game, but it wasn't enough to push us into that top 2. It was our final Ignite Cup game as well. So eliminates us from that. Like overall, I thought we did okay in it. I think maybe something I suggested to you is that I would like the NBL next time they do this, maybe have a top 4 for the Ignite Cup, just so it keeps teams a little bit more interested in it, and then have like a little weekend where it's you play a game on Friday. If you win, you play the grand final on the Sunday. And
do
make
it the same weekend as Hoops Fest, or you do it like
but it's
during
hard
the
because
Blitz or
it's hard
something.
because
Like,
with Hoops Fest, they have to have that scheduled in. If you have I just think they could do the semi-final and the final don't count to your regular season. I know the grand final knows, but I don't know. I think it's something nice, like for fans who and look, the teams who are in and around there this year, the teams who are struggling on the table, like New Zealand are up there, like the Hawks are in the top 3 or 4 of it as well. It would have been like a nice little thing to have. I don't know. Just moving forward, I think it would have been, that's what they do in the NBA with the NBA Cup. They have the semi-finals and the winners play the finals in Vegas.
It incentivizes teams to actually do well in these games over a longer span.
Yeah.
If you're looking to expand the season and make something out of it and make something out of this Ignite Cup, which I think has been a great initiative this season. We've seen an extra 2 home games and an extra 2 away games. It's been great for us as fans. Obviously, it wasn't initially in our membership, but then it got added.
And I think moving forward next year, it was hard because the memberships already came out. I think surely next year they'll count them into the original membership and it won't be an issue.
No.
I just think it's a great thing. But the hard thing is, like, if you had one poor game in the Ignite Cup and you only got 1 point or no points, you're almost out of the race to finish in the top 2.
Yeah.
So by making it like the top 4, it just makes it a little bit more interesting. First v 4, second v 3rd, winners play off in the.
That's how we do it at the Snake.
Like I just think it would be a cool initiative to have and just to mix it up a little bit. They could even just thinking off the top of my head, shorten the games, have like a night thing, like an all-star sort of thing, have a dunk contest in it, and maybe that's
a conversation for another episode.
But have like two shortened games. Have a night where you go to semi-finals and play, and they might be like, I don't know, half what the time is. So shortened games, 5-minute quarters, and then the 2 winners play in a final of, I don't know, like 8-minute quarters or something. So it's not necessarily like taking
a full game.
Like the 2 games combined could be close to a full game. And then, I don't know, just be something exciting, something different. You've got options there as the NBL to try to grow the game. I think that would get interest. If you got crowds there, you get crowds for like fans for 4 teams. So it might attract a few more things.
Similar to like the NRL in Vegas, and you've got the 4 teams, and you have supporter sections for each team.
Yeah,
like it's
but then you could also have a 3-point contest, a dunk contest, so other players from around the league could also be involved. So I don't know, just something a little bit different. But let's move on. We're going to now preview this crucial Cairns v Hawks game tomorrow at the WEC, 5:30 early tip-off on a Saturday. Hopefully the New Year's vibes are still rolling. Get a nice little crowd there to get that noise going again, because the crowds have been good. Even though the Hawks haven't had a great season, the crowds are still turning up, which is great to see. But it's a really important game. Last time Cairns played us, they were down. They were like not as strong as they could possibly be. They were down a couple of key players, and they gave it to us. Like, we weren't ready. We were poor, and they beat us. Like, I can't stress enough. The Hawks need to turn up, because if they don't, the win against Tassie is a waste. Because I did mention last episode that when we were talking about how possibly can the Hawks get in this 6th spot, I said the games against Tassie and New Zealand are must wins. So they're 5 games. Get those 5. But then you've also got to be winning in the other games. Like, games against Cairns are not games you can be dropping, because we're going to be playing. We've got games against Adelaide, who we've shown we struggled against. We've got games against Sydney, who we've struggled against this year. So we can't just go, oh, yeah, we're going to beat those teams. Like, we need to beat the 2 teams who are in and chasing that 6th spot, win all those. But then we also have to beat the teams who are below us. So this is a game we have to win. If we win, we go to 8-12. Only 8
and 13. We jump New Zealand and we go to 8-13.
8-13.
But
so we go 8-13, and then we're only 2 wins behind Tassie. So Tassie do have a tough run coming up as well. They've got to play Melbourne a couple of times. They've got to play Adelaide and Sydney. Like, I know Melbourne's been struggling a little bit late, but they should probably want to be bouncing back and playing some good basketball.
Yeah.
So, but who knows? Melbourne aren't in good form. Then I'd be saying Adelaide are going to be very tough to beat for Tassie, and Sydney are in red hot form. So they haven't got an easy run, Tassie. Then after those 4, they play us.
Yeah.
So,
and if we've gone on a little bit of a run by this point in time,
well, if we can win 3 of our next 4, then
it's doable.
Then that game becomes huge against Tassie. So it'll be super important we get the job done in this game. Can't stress it enough. The Hawks have to turn up. We have to put on a strong display. Tassie are going to be full strength with McVeigh and Wardenberg back in their rotation.
Cairns.
Who did I say?
Tassie.
Cairns are going to be back to their full complement of players. So hopefully that makes the Hawks switched on. So I think last time they were like, they heard the players were out and they were like, oh, we're just going to cruise to this win. And the Hawks are showing if they turn up, they make themselves hard to beat. So got to get this done. And I think the Hawks with the Twin Towers can give Wardenberg a lot of trouble. And I think our guard rotation, we've got to get those rotations right again and make it really difficult for them.
I think we'll be a matchup nightmare tomorrow with Wardenberg and Lee. I think it's going to be really hard for them to tackle McGee and Sam Frawling, especially if they start them. If they come out and they start exactly how we started last game, I think we'll get to a decent lead, and I think it's going to take them a lot of time to try and catch up.
It's going to be interesting to see what they do with Lee. I think Lee they might use Lee as a bit of a hacker McGee and hacker Frawling. He'll be there to use his fouls.
Exactly like what Harry Frawling.
He'll be there to use his fouls and make McGee and Frawling earn it from the line. Wardenberg, not so much because he's more crucial to their offense. McVeigh, again, is always dangerous. We'll see who matches up against him.
We've got the defenders for him.
And then just hopefully Andrew Andrews doesn't have a game like he had last time. So we'll see how we go. But they are a dangerous team. Like, they're bottom of the ladder, but they do have some good players. So it is a very important game for the Hawks. But let's move on to our regular segments. First one we're looking at is, are you serious? So I got a few little nominations for this episode. The first one was, are you serious? The reffing in that Tasmania game. Now, I'll explain it to you because I'm there watching as a fan. I was super frustrated. Tassie was super physical. Nothing against being physical. But then when the Hawks just seem to tap someone or knock someone, they can't wait to put the whistle in the mouth and go, yeah, that's a foul, mate. It's just frustrating when you see we're getting manhandled. They're throwing the ball into the post to Sam and to McGee, and they got their hands wrapped on one side. They can't even get up and get it. And then Hickey's down the other end trying to guard a bigger guy and hold, boxing out holds a little bit, and straight away, no, you're holding him, mate. You're both ways. All you ask for is both ways. And I know at the end of the day, their foul count was 17-14, but 3 of those 14 were in the last 20 seconds because they were trying to foul, so we'd have to go to the free throw line. So there was a massive hit. And again, there can be imbalances in thing, but the other Tassie were physical. And if you're physical, how are you not getting called for the fouls? I don't get it. Well, the Hawks just seem to be getting called for
everything.
Breathing. Everything. So that's the first nomination. Next one. The Peatling and Bannon fiasco. So
do we show them?
I think we show them.
We'll show you.
Are you serious? I'm going to say, are you serious, Mason? Go.
No. And Derek, where are we at on Will Magnay's? Oh, we got some fireworks, and it's still early.
Go to
your bench. White, go to your bench. Go to your bench. White, go to your bench.
Guys, over here.
White,
That way.
go to your bench.
Stay here.
Go to your bench.
I can see this
White.
again.
Hey,
What
this
happened
way.
here?
Go this way.
Here it is, Pete
That
Hooley.
side. That side. Keep going.
Peeling into Nick Marsh and then stands over and in comes Josh Bannon.
Well, this is all going to be looked at as
Hand to Will Magnay.
Yeah, so you saw it there. Now, when it happened, I sort of looked away, so I actually didn't really see it live. But then I watched the replay, and I was like, I think Mason made a bit of a meal there. I was like, are you serious? He did run. He was lucky actually not to get called for the charge. So we were lucky to have the blocking call.
Yeah.
Then he stands over the top of him and gives it to him, which you're not really supposed to do. So he got tech for that. And then obviously Bannon got tech for the
manhandle
throw. But I think Mason made a bit of a meal of that. So there's a bit of an "Are you serious?" moment there for Maso. We're big Maso fans, but like I think there was a little bit of
Chris Goulding
in that little play. Next one. So Hawks on Christmas Day. Are you serious with that performance? That is my next "Are you serious?" moment. I thought it was a really poor performance on Christmas Day. It's very, very disappointing. Next "Are you serious?" moment was that turnover we mentioned earlier with 17 seconds to go. Running towards the sideline, Harvey getting the catch right in the corner near the halfway line. Very hard to get out of that situation. Another "Are you serious?" moment. Next one, this one, and it could have actually cost us the game in a close one. A Tassie player had 3 free throws, and on the second free throw, a Hawks player steps in when you can't even get the rebound anyway. And the ref goes, "Oh, you stepped in. He gets to have that again." And he made it.
And he got another 2 shots because he walked into the lane.
No, he already had 3. So the first one was missed. On the second one, because it was fouled on 3, on the second one he steps in when he can't get a rebound anyway. Like if you're thinking, because it's only 2 shots, but be more game aware. Like, no, he's fouled on a 3. He steps in, and the ref goes, "Well, you can't step in." And I go, "What's the point? There's no rebound anyway."
Well, he missed it, and then he made that.
He missed. So he got another chance at it, and then he made that. That could have been 1 point. I just like, are you serious? Just don't step in when it's the free throw that you can't get a rebound on. Okay, what one wins the "Are you serious?" moment of the episode?
Mate, I think all of them, they're all completely valid. Like, we've just seen that video, and I'm sorry, like, Mason, we love you, mate, and we can't wait to see what you do on an NBL 1 level for us. Yes. It's going to be absolutely fantastic, rocking out the snake pit. You and Toddy and our main man, Matty Mims. It's going to be absolutely huge, but I think the one that takes it is the turnover. Like, you cannot have 15 turnovers, 12 turnovers, 10 turnovers. It just cannot happen in a professional basketball game, especially when the game is on the line. It was giving me shades to 2024, where Kyle Adnam throws in the ball after we had a humongous lead down in Melbourne, and then we just absolutely crap.
At the end of the day, that's where the foul count and the reffing hurt us, because at the end of the game, most teams in the fourth quarter are on like 4 fouls anyway, already in the bonus. So when it comes to that close game and the other team's playing the foul game to stay in it because they don't want the clock to run out and they hope you miss free throws, I think they only had like 2 fouls. So they had to foul another. They had to foul another like bunch of times just to send us to the free throw line, and that's like as the team who's winning, that's like a nightmare. You go, we have to get the ball in 4 times, like before we can even get to the free throw line. So that's an anxious moment as it was, and it showed there. Like, they fouled on the first inbound, they fouled straight. And the next one, they get us caught there, and then we throw the turnover. It's like, so that was another key thing. Yeah. So you sticking with the turnover?
The turnovers are killing me at the moment.
All right, we're gonna move on to the next segment. Yeah, nah. All right, the first one. Were the rotations on point v Tassie? Yeah, nah.
That is a triple yeah.
I love it.
Triple yeah. I'll take it.
What did you like?
I loved it because we put Bawali on and he came out and he was on fire. It was his first career start and he was just an absolute pest. Like we said, he kept Tiger to minimal points, and the times that he was on Hamilton after that, he kept Hamilton to minimal points. We then also had our 3 and D in Wani, who had another blinding game. And I know it's coming up in a second, but it was his 200th game in the NBL. And he was out there with something to prove. QJ started, and he started at the 2, and it was great because it didn't make him bring up the ball. And Bawali was bringing up the ball, and we know that he can bring it up and he can set everyone, and you could see him yelling. And then we had the Twin Towers. We had Froling and we had McGee. And it was absolutely electric. The pop when Sam got announced, welcome back to the Illawarra Hawks, Sam Froling, bang. Everyone was going absolutely nuts, myself included. And they both had an absolute blinder of a game. And we started.
It was good.
Absolutely on fire.
You know what? Something had to change because we hadn't been playing well. And like the fans are calling out, like, we can't just go down like doing the same thing is like, and it's the definition of insanity. Like you keep losing and then you keep doing the same thing. It's ridiculous. So fair play to Tatum and the coaching staff for making those changes, making a statement, mixing it up. I really like Bawali starting. I like the fact that he's, like I said before, may not necessarily be the guy that you want with 30 seconds to go. But at the start of the game, he brings the energy, he brings the excitement. He's up and in as an on-ball defender. He really made Tiger struggle early. And then he came in offensively, got a great steal, a layup, hit a 3, a beautiful step back 3.
Yeah.
But he got our offense right. He's always looking to pass, which is great. Gets balls moving. I thought it was a great move. Yeah. And the rotations throughout the game also,
so good.
Which is great. It was just good to see, like, and having those other guys coming off the bench just gave us a little bit of spark. So when Tassie brought their bench on, which is definitely not their strength, like those guys came on and I looked at the plus minus at the end of the game, and it wasn't the guys who started who had the greatest plus minus. It was the bench guys. Gritter had I think he was the best one with like plus 11. He's just a great guy coming off the bench. He just brings energy. He's 100 miles an hour. But Harvey was great off the bench with his 15 points. So Hickey off the bench. But those guys had all positive plus minuses. The starters didn't necessarily have that, but it balanced it out.
Yeah.
And that's what you want. And so it worked. So the rotations, I agree, that's a definite Next one, you sort of touched on it before. Wani was poor in his 200th game. He had 3 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist. What do you think? I know what I feel about it.
We know Wani can do better because he has done better, and we've seen that. We saw it on Christmas. We've seen it in the past few games when other people have been out. But the 3 points that he did make and the defense that he was doing the entire game, it limited those players. It limited Tiger.
And his 3-point was a big 3.
It was
probably worth more in the moment.
Right in front of their bench.
In the moment, it was worth more than 3 in the context of the games. In the fourth quarter, I think
4 to go.
Yeah,
it put us up.
Put us up like up 8 or something. It was a big 3, and I agree with what you said.
Yeah.
He locked down Bryce Hamilton, who's like an MVP candidate. He only had 10 points, and that's on Wani. Like, he did a great job. So I know most people look at the stats, Dave Simonite, and think that he has a poor game, but mate, Wani, you're 200th, you're still instrumental.
And not only that,
victory.
Corey, we've got to mention it was his 1000th career NBL point. Him hitting that 3 gets him over the 1,000 point threshold, which is great. As a 24-year-old with 4
championship
24 and 4 championships, which the last 2 he's been pivotal parts of, the Melbourne United and then obviously the one with the Illawarra Hawks. He's been pivotal in both of them. Pivotal.
My last one for the segment.
Yes.
Now, put your coach hat on. I know this is it's all about percentages. Now, at the end there, when they fouled, we're up 91-90. Toddy got fouled. Obviously, when he goes to free throw line, you want him to hit both.
Yes.
Because if he hits both, you're up 3. So all that, at worst, what can happen is you go to overtime, unless you're stupid and foul, and they make the 3.
Or you miss a rebound and they get a wide open layup.
Yeah, but they're still up 3. So like if you're up 3, they have to hit a 3 with 3 seconds to go. So he just sent it to overtime. Once he missed the first one, there was only 3 seconds on the clock. Yeah or nah? Do you deliberately miss the second one, or do what Toddy did, make it, which then leaves it open for the other team with 3 seconds to go to take the game away from you. I know what I was saying in the game.
It's a yeah situation because you get what you have in the game where he makes it, they take a timeout, they advance it, they go for the 3, Hickey blocks the 3, and it's a wide open air ball, but no one's there to grab it. JaVale completely misses his assignment, and Bryce Hamilton grabs the ball, throws up a reverse, it goes in, and we think, oh my God, here we go, we're going to overtime. Are you bloody serious? What are you thinking?
For me,
in my opinion, I probably would have missed it. 3 seconds is not nearly enough time to get up the court.
For me,
But we've seen it happen.
Basketball now is all about percentages.
Yep.
So percentages, you saw what happened when he made it. They got down there, had 3 seconds. They ran a play. That 3 seconds went forever. He got the ball. He took a dribble. He stepped back. He shot it. It got blocked. They had time to get the rebound. The guy had time to get under the basket. And it was dead set 0.1. It was very similar to the McGee halfway shot. The ball was almost out of his hands, but wasn't.
Yeah.
All right. So we got lucky, but that all happened in 3 seconds. So, and that would have sent it overtime. Anything can happen in overtime.
McGee's shot happened in 1.9.
Exactly. So, what I'm saying is, if percentages wise, they had 2 chances to win the game in 3 seconds.
Yep.
If he misses it in the NBL, if you get the rebound, you can't call a timeout while the ball's in play. No. So, in 3 seconds, they have to get the rebound,
get fouled.
Well, no, they're not. You wouldn't foul because you're only up 1. 1 because you would have missed it. You then don't foul. The best shot they're going to get in that time would be a half-court heave. You would think. The guy's got to get the rebound. It's either he gets it, pushes it up before himself, and then launches one, or he gets it a pass to someone. The shot in 3 seconds.
It can't.
It
won't happen.
And it was a free throw. They had their players all around 3-point line. That's not like, unless I don't think they did. They had someone down the other end, which they could have heaved it and then bang. No. But like in a percentage, I'm not saying it couldn't have happened.
Yeah,
they could have.
Anything could happen.
Anything could happen. They could have, but percentage wise, I would say that missing that free throw would be a better chance of us winning. Even though we did win, but look how close we were to losing or going to overtime. So for me, I would have thought, Toddy missed that. But in the end, we got away with it, but it was by the skin, literally by the skin of our teeth, or some people would say a bee's dick. So very, very close. So what we're going to look at now is our favorite segment.
And all the rest of it.
Hashtag and all the rest of it. Now, mate, little sneaky, I heard like some fellow co-host here in the media conference asking King Tatum a really key question. And I think you might have snuck in a little famous phrase in the question. Let's have a little listen.
Happy New Year.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
Before you go, Coach, you and I have spoken a lot about people making claims in the media and writing different articles and stuff like that.
Yep.
Misquoting and all the rest of it. Can I get your quote for this one? Are the Illawarra Hawks back?
Are we back? We're close. We're close. We're competitive now. Today we were very competitive. And as we keep being competitive during the rest of the season and we find a way to get to the top 6, then I'll answer that question again.
There we go. Has to sneak in the little all the rest. So the coach even had a little giggle. He loves it. So he might get on the bandwagon of the hashtag and all the rest of it.
We're going to get him a T-shirt, all the rest of it.
To answer that question, are the Hawks back? After every win we have at the stadium, in the moment I always yell, we're back, baby. Yeah. But we're far from being back. I'd say we're being back if we get on a little 3-game winning streak.
Yeah.
I'll be like, I think the coach and the players can start feeling good about themselves and say, the Hawks are back. But until that happens, it's hard to say. But bloody love that. Next one and all the rest of it. Now, we've discussed this ourselves a little bit. Do you think McGee, the Hawks should be looking to re-sign McGee for next season? If they do, because if that's the case, you should probably be like thinking about that now. What are your thoughts?
So the rundown from this end of the situation, and it's from what I've been hearing, and it's what we all hope will happen, is that Tyler Harvey gets naturalized. He has his family. He has his whole life down here in Wollongong, his wife, his kids. Everything has been down here in Wollongong. He's a one-club man. He's not going to go anywhere. He's been with Wollongong. He was with us for 3-29. He was with us for a 2-7 start to almost make the championship series. And then he's won a championship with us. His number's going to be raised in the banner. No one else is going to wear the one after him.
I agree.
I can already see it now. And he'll be an Australian citizen. I think it would be absolutely stupid for the Hawks and for the NBL not to let Harvey naturalise. But what it also means is you can marquee him, which is exactly what Adelaide have done. Bryce Cotton naturalised, you marquee him, you can pay him whatever you want, but only $250,000 of your first marquee signing goes towards your salary cap. So Tyler Harvey, we could pay him $2, $3, $4 million if we really wanted to, but $250,000 only goes towards our salary cap. It gives us more money to go out for imports, which we then go back to having 3 imports. And it allows us to do a whole bunch more. And we talked about it last episode. You've got someone like Antonius Cleveland looking to come back to the NBL and finish his career off here. I'm sorry, but Adelaide doesn't need him. They've got Bryce, they've got DJ, they've got Flynn Cameron, they've got Cheatham, they've got Humphreys. They actually really do not need AC. And AC was great. Him and Harvey had amazing chemistry when they played together. He was Defensive Player of the Year in the NBL when he played for us. And we almost won a championship that year as well. It was absolutely beautiful watching him play. And I seriously think
he's got to be the focus.
He would be the focus.
If you can get him. But
you can only, if you go for 2 imports, fantastic. Go for him, bring him in. If he plays the 3, he plays the 3. If he plays the 2, he plays the 2. Whatever he plays. He might even play the 4 and he brings Sam off the bench. Or even better, he plays the 4, Sam plays the 5. And you've got someone like McGee. He'll be 38 next year. He's a 4-time world champion, 3 of those in NBA. Soon to be 5-time world champion with an NBL championship under his belt.
That's a big call.
Hey,
now,
we've won 1. I can do all the chip talk I like. There's no more hashtag no chip talk.
Okay,
McGee should resign.
Well, I know I said this.
Naturalized
you have
Harvey,
to start
McGee
talking about it now,
resign.
but the only reason I would probably be looking to resign if they do turn around and win the championship, go, because what I'm going to say next is going to prove me wrong. I just don't think it's NBL is a dominant centers league. It's very much a guard orientated. The teams who do well have dominant guards who do really well. They have complementary bigs.
Yeah.
McGee, I feel like McGee this year has been don't get me wrong, it's been great. At times to watch him, he's fantastic to watch. His stats are great, fantastic. But is it conducive to winning basketball? At this stage, it hasn't been. So if they turn it around, well, okay, I'll change my mind. But I feel at this stage, you look at all the teams who are at the top of the table. I think it's really important. I've always said you should focus on getting local bigs, import guards, import points. Like last year, okay, with Lockie and Sam, we did great in that area with local bigs. We lost Lockie and then also had Froling out for an extended period of time. So we had to act and get someone in. So I understand why they've done it. But if you're looking at talking about re-signing, now Sam's back. I don't necessarily think it may be, because you look at who's on top of the table, Adelaide, okay? Isaac Humphreys, local centre, great, but he's not the focal point of their offense. He can get his points, whatever. But I think McGee's just been too much of a focal point, and it's not conducive for victories in the NBL. You look at other teams who are around there. Melbourne, they have Edwards, who again, he's not a focal point. He's more of a dunker, complementary sort of guy. You look at Wardenberg, then you look at
Jesse Edwards.
Yeah, who like Jordan Hunter, SEM are up there. He's just a complementary guy. Tim Suarez, another complimentary guy. The only guy who I would say whose team's in the mix for a championship and he's a dominant big guy would be JLA, but he's a local. So he's not an import. So all of those things there have showed the point I'm trying to make is
And then you look down at the bottom of the ladder, it's us with Sam. It's
that
us. Yeah.
dominant
Yeah.
center focal point doesn't necessarily work
No.
in the NBL to winning. So I would,
I think he's been great. I think
he's
they
been
should
great.
re-sign him,
He's been
especially
great.
if Harvey's naturalised.
He's been great to watch. I'm not getting wrong. I'm just saying I don't think it's conducive to winning basketball in the NBL. Oh, yeah. But, that was a good talking point. Next one, and our final one of the episode is a little bit of decline from our man,
Darvo Hickley.
Darvo Hickley. But he had his injuries. He came back. He had triple-double games, plenty of near triple-doubles. But the last couple of weeks, the last couple of games, he's sort of dropped off a little bit. Hasn't hit double figures in any of those categories. Well, definitely in the last 2 games. So a little bit of a slip in Hickey. It's just, I personally think that he's probably not a starting point guard in the NBL.
No.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Like, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Definitely not.
He's still a very, very great player.
Mm-hmm.
But I have I think, I don't know what's, like, I don't know what's going on. I can't pretend to think what people are thinking. But I spoke to some other fellow fans, and when I said what I said, they were like, oh, man, I think you've got that right. Now, basketball players, there's plenty of people who have egos as basketball players. You almost probably need an ego to be a good basketball player. So so it's important to have that. But I remember when Davo started, he was a chip on his shoulder. He wasn't given a chance. He was struggling to get minutes. He got his minutes. And the reason he got minutes was on the back of being a defensive pest, a bit like what Bawali's doing now, coming on, just he wasn't really a focal point of the offense. Anything he got was like maybe a bit of scrappy points and energy points like Gritter might get, that sort of thing. He evolved and became more of a offensive threat, like good distributor. He could score around the bucket, come up with some big plays.
That's why he almost was finals MVP.
Yeah. And now he's, like, people are talking about him, saying he's going to play for the Boomers, started for the Boomers, like
NBA call-ups.
So lots of sort of things that has something there. Like, I have a feel like he still has shown he can definitely block the ball. Like, he's great at blocking. But I think he's gone away from being that really strong on-ball defender where he took pride on being an absolute pest. It's not really happening as much, and it's gone away. I think he needs to come back and say, like, I want to be a two-way player. Don't worry so much about, like, having to run an offense or getting your stats up. Like, people, that's what will get him to the NBA if he still has a passion to get the NBA. If you can show that you can have a consistent three-pointer and be an absolute pest of a defender, you'll get some minutes in the NBA, like Caruso or those sorts of guys who can come in and just, because you're not going to be, everyone's realistic, you're not going to be a starter in the NBA. You're not going to be like getting 20 minutes. So if you want to, that starts with your defense, because that's where coaches are going to go. If you're an absolute pest and you can block shots, but you can also be incredible on-ball defender, you are going to get a chance in the NBA. And I feel like it's slipped a little bit for Davo. His focus has been like, well, I've got to be this offensive threat.
Yeah.
Where I'm distributing, scoring, doing this. He's sort of taken away a little bit from his mindset, which was when he came on, my mindset was, I'm guarding the best player on the team. I'm going to be an absolute pest. I'm going to make it difficult for him. And that's what he built. That's how he got his chance, really. And it's come from that. So I think all the rest of it, all right, is I think Davo, we need him to come back to be that really strong defensive guy that is a pest. And then whatever points we get out of him is a bonus. Like, he is a special talent, but I think that's where his focus or mindset needs to go a little bit more back onto that defensive end. And because if we have him, Wani, Bawali, all on the same time, Gritter, like that, 4 like absolute defensive menaces, and then you have your protector in McGee at the rim. Like, it's going to be very hard for teams to score if they all locked in, like, and focused on that defensive end. So, yeah, don't get me wrong, we all love Davo, but we're here in this role to talk about how we think players can get better, and we understand what it is in the league, and it's everyone can see it. He came back from his injury and he was great. His stats were fantastic. But it's like slipped a little bit, and
I think I think there's way too much pressure on him, and it's the same as QJ. There was way too much pressure, but I think with rolling back, I think with the rotations how they were last night, or not last night, sorry, on New Year's, I just really think they're finally starting to figure it out because, and it's what I mentioned to you, and it's what I mentioned in a group chat the other day. You take a look at it. We're 19 games into the season. We're 6-13. 19 games ago, we would have gone with the game plan. Fantastic. Frawling's not going to be injured. We've signed McGee, so we're going to have Frawling and McGee. Davo's not going to be injured, so we'll have Davo. We'll have Tyler. We'll have Wani. That'll be our starting 5. Then we'll have Peatling and Blanchfield off the bench. Blanchfield's just won NBL 1 MVP. We've got all of these championship people back in the mix. We've got Ja'Cory McLaughlin coming off as 6th man, who was going to be absolutely great for us as a 6th man. And then our season got absolutely derailed 4 games into the championship series. Sam goes down with his Achilles injury. Lachlan Ulbrich steps up, but then leaves for the NBA. We then come to the Blitz. We've got Jonah Bolden. McGee hasn't even come in. Jonah Bolden's then out for majority of the season now with his ACL. You've then got Ja'Cory McLaughlin, who couldn't fit with the team. And that was just because we were losing games. It wasn't working and whatever else.
It just hasn't been great.
It just hasn't been good. But I think they're slowly figuring it out. And from here on out, yeah, we've got a few tough games, but we've got a few games, Corey, as we've mentioned. We've got a few more against New Zealand. We've got a few more against Tassie. We've got Cairns and Brisbane. And then we've got a few ones against the top of the table.
There's winnable games there.
It's winnable.
If we just take care of the games against New Zealand and Tassie, there's 4 there. And if you say we know we've got Cairns, we've got Brizzy again, that's 6 games there. So my calculations is there's 13 games to go. If we want to be a chance, we'd have to win 7 or 8 of those to be any hope of.
We had a look before 14, and if Tassie lose a few, especially to us, and things work out the way that they do, 14 and 19 for the Hawks will see us in 6th spot.
Yeah, and I think the next 3 or 4 games are going to be crucial because
absolutely
we've probably got to win 3 or 4 of them, and then hope Tassie lose 3 of those 4, and it's quite possible looking at their draw, and then we play each other again. So
and that's where
we've got 4 more games, and then we play each other. So if Tassie have a good streak and somehow against those good teams win 3 of those 4. They probably take it out of our hands.
Yeah.
So we got to hope that these next 3 or 4 they struggle, and we do well. Then it's in our hands. We're not having to worry about them because then it's going to be pretty much on an even keel a little bit. We looked at it, and I think we would be, if we won 3 of our next 4 and they lost 3 of their next 4, we would be 10 and 14, and they'll be 11 and 16. So then it becomes in our hands. Yeah. Like we would be in 6th place then, so then we control our own destiny. So
and then we win against them. We go to 11 and 14. They go to 11 and 17.
Yeah. So then it becomes
a 3-game difference.
Yeah, and then we almost look the box seat to get it. So it's those next 3 or 4 games for both teams are huge, and we can't forget about New Zealand as well. They're in the mix, but I think Tassie are the team who's playing a little bit more consistent basketball at the moment.
New Zealand aren't, no.
And they've got the 10 wins already. So they need to be slowing down a little bit for us to be a chance. But I think we're going to wrap it up, mate. Before we go, though, I want to say big shout out to Nathan Fitzgerald, Fitzy, making this awesome T-shirt. Massive fan of it. Love it. Remember when I was a kid, I loved like the NBA or the Dream Team shirts with like the cartoon versions of the players. Massive fan. He designed it himself. I know he's really interested in doing some designs for the Hawks, and he showed me some of his Christmas Day ideas and stuff, and I'm not going to lie, they are awesome. And I've shouted out, and I think we will have a chat to Basketball Del Warrior about him potentially working with them to do maybe that Members Day jersey or something like that. I think it'll be great. He's got some really good ideas, and his stuff is great. He's got this teal Hawks jersey. I think it will be fantastic if they get it out there. But big shout out to you, mate. I love the work that you do. Absolute legend. Wrap it up for us, big dog.
Nathan Fitzy, we absolutely love you. Thanks for the shirts. We absolutely appreciate it. We'd love to see more, and potentially a collaboration with yourself, Illawarra Basketball, 18th Dynasty and the Hawks Hangout. It could be absolutely banging and huge. But again, as always, Principal Brewing, thank you. As always, keeping us hydrated, keeping us fueled from day one. And Nathan and the boys over at Enable You2, thank you very much for letting our ugly mugs be on the screen every single week. And thank you to you guys for tuning in and watching. But Corey, New Year's. Happy New Year's. It's 2026, not 6-7. It's 2026. The Hawks are slowly climbing their way back. And you heard it before. We're not there yet. We're competitive. And I'm telling you now, Corey, the Hawks are going to fly, baby. Fly your Hawks.
Wow. Everyone loves an underdog.
Hang out.